I'm sitting in the Ruth and Naomi pew in honor of where Ruth came from. She was from Moab. And Moab is going to show up in our story again today that Callie's going to read in a few minutes. Moab is where Moses ends his story.
The first scripture reading is from Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 1 through 12. Hear the word of the Lord. Then Moses went up from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. And the Lord showed him the whole land, Gilead as far as Dan, all Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah as far as the western sea, the Negev and the plain, that is the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, as far as Zoar. The Lord said to him, "This is the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, I will give it to your descendants. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you shall not cross over there." Then Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab at the Lord's command. He was buried in a valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, but no one knows his burial place to this day. Moses was 120 years old when he died. His sight was unimpaired, and his vigor had not abated. The Israelites wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. Then the period of mourning for Moses was ended. Joshua, son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands on him, and the Israelites obeyed him, doing as the Lord had commanded Moses. Never since has there arisen a prophet in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. He was unequaled for all the signs and wonders that the Lord sent him to perform in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his servants and his entire land, and for all the mighty deeds and all the terrifying displays of power that Moses performed in the sight of all Israel.
Joseph brought his brothers to Egypt, and generations later, Moses led their ancestors out of Egypt in slavery. For 40 years, Moses led the Israelites as they waited for the land God promised them. This map shows the areas where the tribes would settle. Callie just read how Moses went up to Mount Nebo and looked at the land to the north and the west and the east that God had promised. When Moses died, Joshua became the leader, and the tribes were able to settle into the land. And they had to fight for some places. Remember how Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho? This painting by Heki shows Moses blessing Israel. Moses is an old man, 120 years old, and Joshua is standing behind him in the painting, just like Joshua backed Moses up and stood by him for the 40 years in the desert. It looks to me like Moses' hand, lifted in blessing, is also saying goodbye.